Hello, everybody. How are you? I'm here. Don't know who's going to come, but I just had to go. I just had to come on here. I was, I heard a lot of things today, and I was listening to my favorite podcaster, uh, who features politics by Tabitha. She did a she did a she did a 2 hour podcast, and it's on YouTube, Politics by Tabitha, and she broke down the wording of the oh God, I can't think of the word, but the document that he allowed Bonnie Willis to remain on the Trump interference election case. He allowed her to stay, but he told Nathan Wade to go off. But then he rebuked her, and she broke it down. You guys have got to go listen to her because she broke it down real good. And I hadn't thought about it. And I heard what he did, but he played both sides. If you listen to it, you'll see it. It's too long for me to play. I was gonna play some of it, but she tells you the things that she thinks that he did wrong, and you know, and he played both sides. He degraded her too. He said he found no difference. No, no, whatever they was looking for, he didn't find it. But yet he told them the weakest points and told them what they could do if they didn't like it. So it's like he was playing both of them. And I read somewhere where somebody said he should have let it go before, but he probably did that because he um, he knows that he's up for reelection, you know. But Robert Patillo, who's an attorney, and he's always on the Roland Martin show, and he's running against him to be the judge, to be the Superior Court judge of Fulton County in Georgia. So that should be nice. So I don't know where it's going to lead, but it should be it should be interesting to see where it goes. So we'll see. We will see where it goes because people are mad. And she broke down a lot of things in that 2 hours. It was a little over 2 hours, but um, Tabitha broke down a lot of things that I didn't even really pay attention to, because I don't know. I was so happy because I knew he was going to let her stay, but he pandered, Judge McAfee. He pandered to Trump and his minions, but that's okay. She stayed on, and he should have left Nathan Wade. Let Nathan Wade stay on, because there was nothing. He said there wasn't nothing, and in so many words, when Tabitha broke it down, she said that Judge McAfee in so many words, and I hadn't thought of it this way, but she said it's like he's rebuking her and chastising her, but ain't nobody saying nothing to Donald Trump for doing that smear campaign, you know. And I watch Roland Martin, and I love Roland Martin. I love his show, and I'm for him. But on this one, I think he was wrong because he said Fonnie should have been there. She had to be squeaky clean, and no, she didn't have to be squeaky clean because let me tell you, no matter if she could have been Lily White, Snow White's great grandmother, and white as the darn snow itself as it falls. But she, you know, they was gonna smear, and some people say he smeared that Trump and them smeared her because she was black. No, they will smear anybody who is against Trump. Trump will go after him. If you're not for him, You are, if you don't agree with him, he feels that you are not for him. So um, he just terrible, and a lot of people fall for him, fall for his mess. But I don't know. But I got some stuff that you know I got some stuff I want you to hear, but trying to wait until I wait like I did before till about 7:10 for somebody to come in. So I'm getting some stuff lined up. Anybody that's out there want to come in, come up on the screen, they do. So you know we'll see, because it's crazy. He's going to smear anybody. Roland Martin, he was saying she should have. What did he say she should have did? She shouldn't have. Oh, she shouldn't have testified and all of that stuff. Yes, she should have. She did the right thing, because no matter what, if she was squeaky clean, as he says, or if she was lily white, he was going to find something to downgrade her about. Call her names. Look what he did to Letitia James. Tish James over there in New York and Manhattan. Look what he doing to Alvin Bragg. Because if you're black, to Trump, you ain't got, you're a woman and you black, you got two strikes against you, because he don't have no regard for women. And I disagreed with him on that. And I hate it when these people are saying the lady won, she's still on the case. Nathan ain't, Wade ain't with her. And she more or less told him they ain't going together. He wasn't her cup of tea, because, like she said, she's an independent woman. And they try to make, where did she get this money? They trying to take her to the bar association. Oh, the judge, they met with the judge and Judge McAfee. Oh, he should have disbarred her. For a bunch of dummies. I'm gonna say this again in case all of them who don't know. The only people who can disbar, take a license away, because a lawyer is a licensed individual. They are a licensed individual, and the only one who can take their license away is the bar association. They have to go before the bar association. A judge cannot disbar a lawyer. And there's 3 steps they go to. They review him, then they have what they call a remedial type of thing. A remedial thing where they place them in and tell them where they were wrong and help them improve themselves. And if it's real serious, and the 3rd step is disbarment. So all of that is crazy. And they just don't want to give this woman a break, but they doing everything, you know. So I'm gonna let you there. Hi, Donnie. Donnie Williams is here 6:56. So this is this is a new one I got, because you didn't hear the beginning, but I was listening today for over 2 hours to the show on Politics by Tabitha, and she broke down the whole court order that Judge McAfee delivered on Friday concerning Fonnie Willis. And the way she broke it down, excuse me, and I think it was you, Donnie, who said, you made a comment. I'm not sure, but I think it was you who made the comment, but to something to the effect, but she got to get Wade to Nathan Wade. In other words, I think you were saying, if it was you, I think you were trying to say it is a half of a win. It was a half-ass win, WIN win. And I didn't think of it that way. I was just so glad he didn't disqualify her. But anyway, I think you were right. Hold on, please. Oh, God. Man, springtime is coming. I could tell it's coming because I'm coughing. Oh, that was you. Yeah. What say it again? Because you were so right. I thought about it because Tabitha, she said it. She said he's scolding her for her behavior, talking about how she came into court, how she testified. I was so happy she did. And Roland Martin on his show, he, he was saying that she shouldn't that she should not say nothing. She shouldn't have got up there and defended herself. What the heck did he think? She did the right thing. See, I'm a Jersey girl, and that's what they do. Yeah. Yeah, Andrea. Hi, how you doing? Yeah, Roland Martin pissed me off today. He really, really did. He pissed me off today. He's talking about on his show, he was talking about Fonnie Willis, and he said he thought that she was wrong for defending herself. She shouldn't have went to the church. She should have defended herself while she was in church, and talk about that speech she gave. I was really disappointed in him today. I like him though, but I've been watching a lot of stuff. I've been watching so much, and I used to love Ice Cube and all his little stupid movies, because that Friday, him and what was that dude's name? Chris Tucker did Friday and Friday the 13th. And Lord, I got so sick of hearing that. My son played that movie to death, and all he did was laugh. I got so sick of hearing that I wanted to throw it in the garbage. But now I don't want nothing to do with him. I don't want nothing to do with Killer Mike. I found out if you listen to Politics by Tabitha, she did a 2 hour something. She broke down that whole order that he gave her, that he gave for Fonnie Willis. I mean, he ripped that woman and talked about her behavior was unprofessional. But I'm like, people are talking about, people are just talking about, they slandering this woman because she called the girl a lie. The girl told her she was sleeping with him. She said, "You accused me of sleeping around and stuff." But anyway, it was so much, but it was insightful and was formative. As she was saying about Killer Mike. And now he's some kind of rapper. I ain't never heard of him, but looking through this stuff lately, I've been hearing about him. Stacey Abrams, I remember when I was in Georgia, when I lived in Georgia, the first year I was there, she sat up there and she tried to win then. I did not know Killer Mike, a young black man. He owns a business and he's all for Trump, and he voted for Brian Kemp, who is a racist governor. He's racist. And they got this bill that they passed that's going to go after the district attorneys, because like Fulton County is a black county. It's a black county, and they want to put this woman up. But Fonnie Willis will win in Fulton County. Because for one thing, it's a lot of people like myself who came from the north and who went up there and who ain't scared to move. Because them people down south is well, they slow as frozen molasses coming out of a bottle. They stupid. They won't even fight. You talk about a union. Oh, a union ain't never did nothing for me. And I told them, well, they might not do nothing for you, but they did a hell of a lot for me, because I didn't work until I dropped dead. You know, I ain't worked until I dropped dead. Unions was good. I can't complain. I can't complain about it. They was good, and I made a good living when I worked. I messed up my money sometimes, but you know how we do. But I still made a good living, and I ain't living too bad now, you know. But anyway, down there they don't. And Killer Mike got a business down there, some restaurants and stuff, and he catering to Kemp and to the Republican Party, and don't want Donald Trump, the biggest damn crook. I just can't get over it. Everybody want to talk about that girl committed adultery, her and Nate, the way he cheated on his wife. He was a married man. She took a married man from his family and stuff. But Donald Trump had he got two, still got two living wives, and one is dead. The man that had three wives, three kids by one wife, cheated on her, got one by his mistress, left her, got another baby, and married somebody, a foreigner, and everybody. Oh yeah, he getting rid of the foreigners. Well, hell, he bringing them in here, but they ain't gonna look like you know. So I don't know, but if y'all get a chance, go listen to her because she's good. She's good, and she I don't know. I seen some like little looked like little what you call it diplomas on the wall, but the way she was sitting, you couldn't really tell what they were. But she's very thorough with what she does, and she be ripping them. And like I said, I'm finished with Ice Cube. And Friday the 13th, he can have Friday the 13th, Friday the 20th, and the 50th, 11th, as my grandmother would say. But I ain't dealing with him no more. I am so sick of these black people. I don't know where these black people came from. Everybody for themselves, and but not every rich black person, because most of them ain't found Trump. Most of them know Donald Trump ain't shit. Now I am gonna say that. I am gonna say that. Everybody know he ain't, but yeah. So they still coming at her. They going to they passed this law in Georgia. Well, she said they didn't pass it, but I think they did. Oh, what they did was they wrote a law up, and they took it to the excuse me, the ethics board in Georgia. But the people at the ethics board told them that they were at the wrong people. They had to take it to the state legislature. When they took it there, the Supreme Court of the state of New Jersey refused to do anything with it because she'll explain that in the video. I might like hit up pieces of it and get pieces of it and let y'all hear what she said. But and so when the state Supreme Court refused to hear it, Kemp went back. Kemp and his cronies went back and rewrote the law so they can bypass going there. They can do it themselves. So they still coming after Fonnie Willis. They gonna still come after, but and then somebody else wrote she got a lot of black people behind it that people don't know about because her dad is an ex Black Panther, and the Nation of Islam gonna be there. So it's gonna be some mess. It's gonna be some mess because this thing ain't over yet. So it's crazy. It's gonna be crazy. But I thought that judge was fair, but the way she put it out, and then I started paying attention and listening to what she was saying. He played both sides. Because if that was his first year, why would you put a first year judge on a case? And Brian Kemp did that. He knew what he was doing when he did that. Brian Kemp knew exactly what he was doing because he said he knew the first couple of days that Trump didn't have a case, but he let all of that shit go on and let them smear that girl like that and that man, and knowing it was a lie. But he was scared not to. He was scared because Fulton County is full of black folks, so he was scared to take both of them off. He took one of them off, but he wasn't dumb enough to take both of them off for the case. But anyway, I got a few things I'm gonna let y'all see. I'm gonna try not to be on here too long, but I got some things I'm gonna let y'all see. It's really crazy, you know, what they doing there. But yeah, and so I'm gonna play this little short thing right now so you can hear it. Some little short. I can't feel it. I'm always doing something. I'm always doing something crazy. But yep, that's what they did. They I'll let y'all see this. So, anyway, this is crazy. I'm gonna let y'all see this. I hope it comes in. I hope it's the right one. I'm still getting the hang of it. I'm getting a little better with it. I'm figuring out where it's not. That ain't it. Anyway, I gotta go back and cancel. But anyway, they was doing a lot of mess. You know, they're doing a whole bunch of mess. So, so hold on, you. What the heck did I do? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear this fool right now. I ain't trying to hear him because he done got me mad. Roland Martin really done pissed me off because I think he was so wrong for what he said. You know,
shut up and sing, or they should just shut up and act, and they should just stay out of politics. And we all know that they only say that to anyone who bashes their dear leader, because we know when Kid Rock spews his politics, or Ted Nugent spews his, or John Voight or Clint Eastwood spews theirs, they love it. So they're just mad at De Niro because he's speaking his mind, and that's ironic because they say that's why they love Trump, is because he speaks his mind. But anyway, as I'm sitting here watching this clip of Robert De Niro and Jimmy Kimmel, I'm saying to myself, man, De Niro is taking the words right out of my mouth. He's saying things that I have said right here on my videos. So take a look at this, then we're going to come back and talk more about it.
He's so stupid. I mean, look at the lame, inane thing.
ah,
It quickly went viral on Facebook, with thousands of homeowners posting their satisfying clips of it blasting through tough surfaces with
I did something stupid. Here I go again.
So Robert De Niro has got MAGA Republicans pretty upset these days because he does not hold back when he's asked what he thinks about Donald Trump. Now, I know that one of MAGA's favorite things to say is they should just shut up and sing, or they should just shut up and act, and they should just stay out of politics. And we all know that they only say that to anyone who bashes their dear leader, because we know when Kid Rock spews his politics, or Ted Nugent spews his, or John Voight or Clint Eastwood spews theirs, they love it. So they're just mad at De Niro because he's speaking his mind, and that's ironic because they say that's why they love Trump, is because he speaks his mind. But anyway, as I'm sitting here watching this clip of Robert De Niro and Jimmy Kimmel, I'm saying to myself, man, De Niro is taking the words right out of my mouth. He's saying things that I have said right here on my videos. So take a look at this, then we're going to come back and talk more about it.
He's so stupid. I mean, look at the lame, inane things that he said. He's so stupid, he can't even say anything clever or smooth. He's a moron. But he's a scary one. And in all seriousness, and we know it here, people have to get out and vote and vote and vote and vote.
Yeah. One time Do you think he pretends to be dumber than he is to confuse people and make them think? No, you think he's
no. I don't think so.
Why do you think? I'm curious why you would guess that there's a big group of people in this country who believe that he cares about them.
I am totally dumbfounded, baffled by that. I can't understand it, and it's a thing that we've seen over decades and decades. And he's a what's it? Tammy Faye and the other one.
Yeah, yes.
It's the same thing. Give us your money. We're gonna save you. Yeah, televangelist.
Yeah.
It's just the same thing, and it's so obvious. I just don't understand. People can buy it. He's dangerous. We got to get rid of him.
Do you ever?
And shame on those Republicans that don't have the nerve, the balls to go after him. What do they tell their kids? What do they tell their grandkids later when it's written in history books what their role is and what they did, and they allowed him to do this. He's an outright criminal, and they're still buying it.
Yeah, he took the words right out of our mouths. How many times have we talked about how that Donald Trump is nothing more than a televangelist grifter, no different than Jim and Tammy Faye Baker? How many times have we made that analogy? Because that's exactly what it is. But I really enjoyed hearing De Niro say those things because, you know, I look at the world that I live in and where I come from, and I look at the tax bracket I'm in. You know what I mean? And I say to myself, okay, I see through this stuff, and I can't understand for the life of me why the people around me, why they can't see through it. But then I've always wondered what people at the top would think, you know, and Robert De Niro is in a completely different tax bracket than I am. You know, he's in a completely different world and is surrounded by a completely different world. And so you say to yourself, here's a guy who couldn't be possibly different in how we were brought up and where we're at in the world. And yet both of us can see Donald Trump for exactly what he is. And one of the funniest things that I saw was De Niro talking with Bill Maher, and he said, you know, I couldn't ever play Donald Trump in a movie because I couldn't find no redeeming quality about him. And when he said that, I got so cracked up because I'm a huge De Niro fan. I watched all of his movies. I mean, this is the guy that played a young Vito Corleone, and he couldn't find one redeeming quality in Donald Trump. This is a guy that played Al Capone once, and he couldn't find a redeeming quality. He played Max Cady in Cape Fear, Jimmy Conway in Goodfellas, Ace in Casino. And out of all those slimeball, horrific characters that he portrayed, he couldn't play Trump because he couldn't find one for Ted Nugent.
I mean, look at the lane.
I'm going to end that one, but y'all get the gist of it. Nobody don't want that to do it. Nobody don't want that crazy ass man, and nobody don't want him. So, you know, but I'm going to find that one I really want y'all to hear. There's one I really want y'all to hear. I got to find it now. I can't never find that one. I ain't looking for it. You know, so these people are just, I don't know. I'm hoping like heck he don't win. I swear. I ain't never wanted somebody, and I said, Lord, I ain't never did this before. But if somebody told me he got hit by a car, it wasn't gonna make it, I'd be like, ooh, he should have watched where he was going. And that's all I would have thought, is he ought to watch where he's going. Because he is, you know. And CNN, I am so surprised at CNN now. I'm really surprised at CNN. You know, CNN is terrible.
We've ever had. And we're just getting started. Look, and it's only going to get worse for him because he can't go against this radical left crazy movement. The radical left Democrats rigged the presidential election in 2020, and we're not going to allow them to rig the presidential election in 2024. And if we do, we're not going to have a country left. Every time the radical left Democrats, Marxists, communists, and fascists indict me, I consider it a great badge of honor because I am being indicted for you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Never forget, our enemies want to take away my freedom because I will never let them take away your freedom. I won't. They want to silence me because I will never let them silence you. And in the end, they are not after me. They're after you. I'm just standing in their way. I always will. We're delighted to be joined today by an outstanding American patriot who just announced that he is running for Congress in Georgia's 3rd Congressional District. And I have to tell you, he's worked for me since 2016. He's unbelievable.
And we ain't gonna listen to
and
this
he's
one. I'm
always
still
wanted to
looking,
be
y'all. You know me.
a congressman. He wanted to grow up like some of his heroes in this room, because we've got a lot of great Congress people in this room.
Yep, we're gonna get rid of your ass too. Yep, I can never find what I'm looking for when I want to find it. When I ain't ready to do nothing, I can see everything I want to see. I gotta get my iPad back. If I get my iPad back, it'll be. I'll get it next week. You know, so I'll get my iPad back, and I should be able to do things better once I get my iPad, and once I get my iPad back. But I don't know. Anyway, it's so much. People are trying to be. People are trying to say, "Oh, Fonnie Willis didn't do good. She da 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 da." He's just sitting there, and CNN. I don't know what happened to CNN, and I used to like CNN, but CNN is getting terrible. They more um, they just horrible here. So this is the one I was telling you. It says a reading of George. I'm gonna be going back and forth and getting some things.
You brought this kingdom together, and it will stay together, even after you're gone. Help protect your loved ones with guaranteed whole life insurance from United of Omaha.
Have you ever thought about a better way to boost your income as you get older? Well, Amazon, the world's most trusted online
where they know
Yeah.
they've got the Supreme Court in their pocket, and then it becomes national law, right? National law. And so
Have you ever thought about a better way to boost your income as you get older? Well, Amazon, the world's most trusted online.
Here it goes. Now that's better. Yeah, when I get my iPad back, it'll be better because I'll have it all queued up, and I'll put it on there both ways, and I won't have to wait. But she gets on here. I'll move it up a little bit because she's I'm gonna move it up a little bit. Wait a minute.
why are we up this time of morning?
She did it in the morning, so it's kind of low, but it gets louder after a while.
Idle mind is the devil's playground, they say, right? I'm up early because I can't sleep, and I wanted to read this.
Let me see if I can turn this up.
This order from Judge McAfee in regards to Fonnie Willis. And so I figured I would come on here and read it for everybody. Oh, you had to let the dogs out? This is your normal time?
Well, it ain't me
Volleyball
that's
time. I know
loud
y'all had
because
stuff to do, so y'all said, let me just go on in
it's
here.
gonna go up louder.
Listen to Tabitha.
She's low.
18 minutes left of a
I
12-hour
thought it was.
shift. Somebody had to rake the roosters. Okay, all right. So listen, this is the order. It's 23 pages long, and I am going to read it because there's some other stuff in here that Joy Reid brought up in her show last night that I'm like, what? Okay, so we got the overall end result, right? We understand that Fonnie Willis remains on the case if Nathan Wade resigns from the case, right? Which he did yesterday. It didn't take long. I thought they would at least wait until Monday. But no, they went on ahead and put out the letter, the resignation letter, and Fonnie Willis put out her letter of acceptance. We might get into that. I gotta go hunt those down. I don't know if I'm gonna get into that. The end result is that Fonnie Willis is staying on the case, right? Now, I also came in later yesterday and talked about this law. Now all of the MAGA nuts are clinging to this law that Brian Kemp signed into law.
It's not my fault. It's low,
And
y'all.
that law is in regards
My
to
computer, everything is up as loud as it can go.
position
So
here in the state of Georgia that will oversee district attorneys in the state. Mm. And if they have an issue with your job performance, your as in a district attorney in the state of Georgia, then they will bring you up on sanctions, right? And those sanctions can equal a fine, can equal a suspension, can equal you being booted out of your prosecutorial role. Remind you, let me remind you that these district attorneys, people like Fonnie Willis, they are voted into office, right? And typically, if there is a problem with your role, being that you were voted in, it's up to the voters to fire you, which means voters will vote you out unless it's
oh well.
some criminal actions going on. I
Let
believe
me see something.
the governor can then step in and boot you out and hold a special election, right? So they created this
I'm
showing of prejudice by a defendant
I'm trying to see if she gonna get louder.
being threatened regularly. Okay.
She does get louder.
Have brought these allegations, which in
You know
turn
what?
brings her personal
I'm gonna
privilege
take it down because it's too low.
into
She
it.
does get louder
When
unless y'all can hear it. I have trouble hearing, so I don't know. Maybe
and
it's not as
even
loud as maybe it's not
saying
as
to
low as I
her,
think it is.
your behavior was just unprofessional.
But she's
Because
good.
she is defending herself. Furthermore, from all of the legal minds that I've seen, he shouldn't even have allowed her. This hearing, rather, it is the undersigned's opinion that Georgia law does not permit the finding of an actual conflict for simply
Is
making
that better?
bad choices. Got to throw those MAGA nuts a bone. Even repeatedly. And it is the trial court's duty to confine itself to the relevant issues and applicable law properly brought before it. Other forms or sources of authority, such as the General Assembly, I know this motherfucker isn't. If this man shows up on my ballot, I, I won't be voting for him. Yeah, I won't be voting for his ass.
That's the best I can do,
So not only
Andrea.
is he throwing the MAGA nuts a bone, he's telling them where they can go to, even though he's allowing her to stay on the case, he's telling these people where they can go to file more complaints against Fonnie Willis. Okay? Okay? Hold on. Let me take another sip. Y'all just dragged this woman. He just dragged this woman into this hearing and allowed these people to bring forth bullcocky, to taint her character, to paint her as some hoe in the streets, to paint her as someone who doesn't pay her bills, because remember, they brought up some type of lien, some lien she had some years ago, child. He allowed them to bring this shit to the forefront, knowing, he knows that the evidence they had, he knew it from jump. The evidence that they had wasn't going to be able to prove that she did anything wrong, because he knows Georgia law. Now he's telling them where they can go since he can't remove her from the case. Now he's telling them where they can go to further attack Fonnie Williams. Okay, here we go. And it is the trial court's duty to confine itself to the relevant issues and applicable law properly before it. Other forms or sources of authority, such as the General Assembly, the Georgia State Ethics Commission, the State Bar of Georgia, the Fulton County Board of Commissioners, or the voters of Fulton County, may offer feedback on any unanswered questions that linger. But those are not the issues determinative to the defendant's motion alleging an actual conflict. Listen, I'm not taking her off the case, but yeah, I will have her remove Nathan Wade off the case to appease you MAGA nuts, because I want to get y'all's votes, because I'm up for re-election, and because I have to let her stay on the case, because she really hasn't violated any laws. These people have proven no conflict. They have not proven that she financially benefit from anything. Furthermore, y'all got people that's married to each other. Y'all got people that are dating each other. Even though all of that is going on, here's where you can go. Here's where you can go to try to get her taken down. Baby, if this man shows up on my ballot, Judge McAfee, if you show up on my ballot, I won't be voting for your ass. I won't be voting for your ass. Whoever your Democratic challenger is, that's who I will be voting for. Appearance, we're getting into a section titled Appearance of Impropriety. Right, Coach Long, there's no law, there's no statute that says she can't be in a relationship with a coworker. None whatsoever. Y'all keep mentioning Clarence Thomas. Child, they don't give a shit about Clarence Thomas. Clarence Thomas has gotten millions of dollars in vacations, in gifts. His wife has gotten millions of dollars. His wife participated in the insurrection, and none of these MAGA nuts have anything to say about Clarence Thomas. Not one of them has brought Clarence Thomas to the forefront to sit in a hearing. Not one of them has filed suit against Clarence Thomas. They don't even speak Clarence Thomas's name when it comes to impropriety or financially benefiting from that position. That's why you can't take MAGA nuts seriously. Okay, so we're heading into this section, appearance of impropriety. Finding insufficient evidence of an actual conflict of interest does not end the inquiry. Our appellate courts have endorsed the application of an appearance of impropriety standard to state prosecutors, even without any explicit finding of an actual conflict. Hold on. I guess I got to read all of this. Standard to prosecutors, even without any explicit finding of an actual conflict. Finding insufficient evidence of an actual conflict of interest does not end the inquiry. Our appellate courts, oh, so he's telling them they can appeal this, they can take this higher. Our appellate courts have endorsed the application of an appearance of impropriety standard to state prosecutors, even without any explicit finding of an actual conflict. Yeah, okay, so we can delay this even further if you want to appeal this. And then it goes to mention all of these other cases. See Battle versus State 301 Georgia 694. Certainly a conflict of interest or the appearance of impropriety from a close personal relationship with the victim may be grounds for disqualification of a prosecutor. Is she in a relationship with any? Is she in a relationship with anybody other than her? Well, she's not even in a relationship with him anymore. She broke up with him, but she was in a relationship with her special assistant district attorney. That relationship is no more. So why are we including this in this? Why are we saying that based on this case from a close personal relationship with the victim? Who's the victim that she could possibly be in a relationship with? What? I'm confused. And he's saying this may be grounds for disqualification of a prosecutor. Who's the victim that she's in a relationship with? Who's the victim that she's in a relationship with? I'm not an attorney. I have a bachelor's in business. I'm not an attorney, but who's the victim? I know we're not looking at Donald Trump as the victim, and she's not in a relationship with Donald Trump. Emphasis added, Greater Georgia Amusement LLC versus State 317 Georgia App 118 122. Physical precedence only. A district attorney may not be compensated by means of a fee arrangement which guarantees at least the appearance of a conflict of interest. Later deemed persuasive by amusement sales, a prosecutor's close personal relationship with the victim in a case may create at least the appearance of prosecution unfairly. Who's the victim that she could possibly? Are they saying Nathan Wade is the victim? What? I'm confused as to why this was added. Based on private interest rather than one properly based on vindication of public interest. In that case, the individual prosecutor who has the conflict may be disqualified. Davenport versus State, granting new trial after concluding that under such circumstances, there is at least the appearance of impropriety. Child, I don't even know why this was. I don't even know why this was added. I'm moving on. Oh, and there's more. Okay. Labeling appearance related argument irrelevant to the lack of actual conflict. The cases cited here that resulted in disqualification did not hold that actual conflict is a necessary prerequisite. The state nevertheless argues that the facts presented suggested as much. And while that may be so in some instances, the opinions do not make that finding. And this court cannot ignore the explicit language of the Georgia Supreme Court and multiple opinions from the Georgia Court of Appeals. Further, while Davenport is the first instance this case can find where the exact phrase appearance of impropriety is used to assess the disqualification of a state prosecutor, the reference to Caesar's wife in Nicholas versus State in the against all temptation and suspension demonstrate the principle has long been endorsed in Georgia law. While formally undefined in Georgia precedent, an appearance of impropriety is generally considered conduct or status that would lead a reasonable person to think that the actor is behaving or will be inclined to behave inappropriately or wrongfully. Black Laws Dictionary 12223, Judicial Recusal Standards. A reasonable person is not an uninformed member of the public with only a passing knowledge of facts at hand. See Cheney versus the United States. This must be the standard, as otherwise, in this case, a casual, uninformed, or misinformed observer might believe the district attorney must recuse herself merely because her father shares a last name with a co-defendant. Nor is a reasonable person hypersensitive or unduly suspicious without an understanding of the relevant legal standards and judicial practice. The appearance standard recognizes that even when no actual conflict exists, a perceived conflict in the reasonable eyes of the public threatens confidence in the legal system itself. When this danger goes uncorrected, it undermines the legitimacy and moral force of our already weakest branch of government. Thus, it is that sometimes an attorney, guiltless in any actual sense, nevertheless is required to stand aside for the sake of public confidence in the probity of the administration of justice. This court finds that it can and indeed must consider the appearance of impropriety as a basis for a state prosecutor's disqualification, especially in recognition of the critical role that the prosecutor plays in the criminal justice system. One final observation can be gleaned from a careful study of our appellate decisions applying this standard. The remedy can vary. Unlike an actual conflict, the finding of an appearance of impropriety does not automatically demand disqualification. Our Supreme Court has previously analyzed disqualification under an appearance standard in a civil case using a continuum, recognizing that disqualification is not always the appropriate outcome. So I didn't watch the hearing altogether. So I'm guessing at some point during the hearing, they were saying that the appearance of impropriety could lead to disqualification. And he's saying not necessarily. That's what I'm picking up from it so far. At one end of the scale, where disqualification is always justified and indeed mandated, even when balanced against the client's right to an attorney of choice, is the appearance of impropriety coupled with a conflict of interest or jeopardy to a client's confidences. In these instances, it is clear that the disqualification is necessary for the protection of the client. Somewhere in the middle of the continuum, I feel like I'm saying that word wrong, is the appearance of impropriety based on conduct on the part of the attorney. As discussed above, this generally has been found insufficient to outweigh the client's interest in counsel of choice. This is probably so because absent danger to the client, the nebulous interest of the public at large in the propriety of the bar is not weighty enough to justify disqualification. Finally, at the opposite end of the continuum is the appearance of impropriety based not on conduct, but on status alone. This is insufficient grounds for disqualification. The Supreme Court further noted that disqualification due to an appearance of impropriety should rarely occur. Okay, so what I'm gathering is that one of them attorneys must have said that she could be disqualified simply based on the appearance of impropriety. And he's saying that's not necessarily the case. The Supreme Court further noted that disqualification due to an appearance of impropriety should rarely occur when there is no danger that the actual trial of the case will be tainted. Similarly, in Billings versus State of Georgia, although the Court of Appeals found the existence of an appearance of impropriety, it noted that the appearance could be cured through screening the affected prosecutor from participation or discussion of the affected case. So, based on this, I'm guessing is how he came to the order of removing Nathan Wade. That's what I'm picking up. Hold on, where was I? Appearance of the it noted that the appearance could be cured through screening the affected prosecutor from participation or discussion of the affected case. These cases indicate that a trial court can consider alternative solutions to cure the appearance of impropriety. Nor would the finding of an appearance of impropriety on the part of district attorney herself, in contrast to an actual conflict, necessarily result in the disqualification of the entire Fulton County District Attorney's Office. Hold on, y'all. I gotta re-verify. I don't know when they started making us do that. Yeah, Jojo, the judges, I believe he's citing these particular cases to validate why he came to the conclusion to say, okay, fine, you can stay if you get rid of Nathan Wade. Where was I? Hold on. Nor would the finding of an appearance of impropriety on the part of the district attorney herself, in contrast to actual conflict, necessarily result in the disqualification of the entire Fulton County District Attorney's Office. Because if she goes, the whole office goes, which means a whole different office would then have to take this up. A whole different office who knows nothing really about the case, which would further delay the case. If you can find another attorney's office to take the case. Okay, where am I? The district attorney in McLaughlin was absolutely disqualified due to a personal interest in the prosecution. As a result, assistant district attorneys appointed by the district attorney lacked any authority to proceed. McLaughlin did not address an appearance standard and made a point to limit the total disqualification to instances of absolute disqualification. When the appearance of a conflict exists, only the affected prosecutor, be they elected or appointed, is affected. The individual prosecutor who has the conflict based on at least the appearance of impropriety may be disqualified from participation in the case but not all other prosecutors who work with him. Distinguishing Davenport, an appearance of impropriety case by noting that the district attorney's disqualification did not require disqualification of an entire office. With these principles in mind, the court finds that the record made an evidentiary hearing established that the district attorney's prosecution is encumbered by an appearance of impropriety. This appearance is not created by mere status alone, but comes because of specific conduct and impacts more than a mere nebulous public interest because it concerns a public prosecutor. Even if the romantic relationship began after Wade's initial contract in November 2021, the district attorney chose to continue supervising and paying Wade while maintaining such a relationship. She further allowed the regular and loose exchange of money between them without any exact or verifiable measure of reconciliation. This lack of a confirmed financial split creates the possibility and appearance that the district attorney benefited, albeit not materially, from a contract whose award lay solely within her purview and policing. Most importantly, were the case allowed to proceed unchanged, concerns raised by the defendants would persist. The MAGA nuts. It would persist. It's going to persist anyway. As the district attorney testified, her relationship with Wade has only cemented after these motions and is stronger than ever. Wade's patently unpersuasive explanation for the inaccurate interrogatories he submitted in his pending divorce indicates a willingness on his part to wrongly conceal his relationship with district attorney. As the case moves forward, reasonable members of the public could easily be left to wonder whether the financial exchanges have, he says, as the case moves forward, reasonable members of the public. How many of y'all believe the MAGA nuts are reasonable? I don't believe they're reasonable. Judge McAfee is playing in my fucking face. As the case moves forward, reasonable members of the public could easily be left to wonder whether financial exchanges have continued, resulting in some form of benefit to the district attorney. Or even whether the romantic relationship has resumed. Put differently, an outsider could reasonably think that the district attorney is not exercising her independent professional judgment totally free of any compromising influences. Judge McAfee, I very well could think that you are not exercising your independent professional judgment totally free of any compromising influences. That's what I think about you, Judge McAfee. As long as Wade remains on the case, this unnecessary perception will persist. So yeah, this is, all of this was to justify his reasoning for removing Nathan Wade from the case. and this is based on reasonable people. No, this judgment is not for reasonable people. This judgment is for the MAGA nuts. The testimony introduced, including that of the district attorney and Wade, did not put these concerns to rest.
I'm going to end this.
During argument,
Is there anything you want to see, Donnie?
largely
Anything you want to hear?
pivoted
Tell me,
from the financial concerns
because I'm going to end
to
this.
disproving the testimony of
If
the
you're still
district
there,
attorney,
I'm going to end it
namely
because
that
I got to go
her
do something
romantic
anyway.
relationship
But it was fun.
actually predated the November 2021 hiring of Wade. On that front, the court makes a few brief observations. First, the court finds itself unable to place any stock in the testimony of Terrence Bradley. That's the black man, the other attorney that was, His inconsistencies, demeanor, and generally non-responsive answers left far too brittle a foundation upon which to build any conclusions. While prior inconsistent statements can be considered as substantive evidence under Georgia law, Bradley's impeachment by text message did not establish the basis for which he claimed such sweeping knowledge of Wade's personal affairs. In addition, while the testimony of Robin Yearty, I think she's the hey Sharlena, I think she's the former employee of the DA's office.
Well, that's it. I'm going. Oh, somebody put. Yeah, I'm getting ready to go anyway, but y'all get what I'm saying. Anyway, I just threw that together real quick. I was trying some stuff anyway, but y'all don't, everybody know they crooked. Y'all don't know they crooked. I ain't got to tell you they crooked. He did that. He knew he couldn't get rid of her. He tried to please everybody. He's still going to lose. Ain't nobody black going to vote for his ass this time because he got rid of Nathan Wade. And women don't like that. You know that. So anyway, have a good night.